If you're watching this, pretty fair chance, like me, you've had to build a ramp for your dog because the dog's old, like mine is. So, like me, I guess you've searched around YouTube for ideas, because that's what I did. So I thought I'll put my idea up. I've seen dog elevators, all sorts of very elaborate systems for addressing this problem. But, you know, ultimately, the dog can't manage the stairs anymore. Not that he's really old, it's 14, going on 15, but he's just got arthritis and, you know, his back hurts and the legs collapse under him. Usual things, I suppose, as you age. So anyway, I thought I'll throw my version of the ramp in and put it up on YouTube, because it's great for ideas. I got my ideas from there, looking at a few different things, so I think that's probably a good way to go. Alright, let's have a look at it. So here's our deck. It's about 1 point, probably, I don't know, metre and a half, I guess, maybe 1200. And here's the ramp I built. So I purchased a product for making this with. I went down and had a look at the hardware store, and they had pine and various things. But I needed to go fairly out. This is 6 metres deep. So what's that, about 22 feet, I suppose, or something like that. And I needed a fairly gradual slope, because you know, he needed to have a fairly easy gradient, and I suspect even this will, while it'll survive him for a while, he really struggles with going up and down. And it's obviously going to get worse. So anyway, what I used for this was I bought this decking. I went down looking at pine and stuff, but this decking here is a stuff called Eco Deck. So it's a synthetic. You work on it pretty much the same way you do with other products, but you know, I think it's from the perspective that there's no oil or painting. It's resistant to rot and decay, all these and termites. It's a problem for us because we're in Queensland, so we do get termites here. Mold and mildew resistant, yep. Weather resistant, yep. Good. Standard woodworking tools, well, yes. Self-drilling screws don't work in it as well as you would think, because the plastic sort of binds up the thread. But you have to pre-drill, really. Scratching, repaired by sanding. Okay, well, don't know about that, doesn't care. Commercial anti-slip rating. Well, not for the dog. It actually is still a bit slippery. So anyway, that's the product. And it was pretty good. These planks are 5.4 metres long, so they nearly go to the end of the deck. So nice gradual angle. And you know, that was pretty good. That's pretty much what I wanted to get the maximum length, so that I really had the minimum amount of slope on that for him to, so he didn't find it challenging. This here, these sides, so I had to put sides on it because they tend to lose the stability on their legs and they can skate off the side. And initially I put an outside and I didn't have an inside, and that nearly happened. He nearly fell off. He nearly dropped his foot over that inside of the ramp there. So I've added those. So these are these decking, spare decking planks we had left over from the deck. I've had them for years, thinking I'll come in handy one day, and sure enough they did. So floors Eco Deck. So that was 4 runs of this stuff, 5.4 metres long, and the rest of it is just made out of these, I think this is Quilla or something. It's a tropical rainforesty, comes from New Guinea or somewhere, I think. So it's just decking boards anyway, hardwood decking boards. So I made a little platform up here, and this just consists of, first problem was where do you start it? So fortunately on ours we've got this stainless steel wire railing, and so what I did was I was trying to figure out how I can do this. I don't want to make this a permanent change, because it tends to be that you know, by the time you do this, the dog perhaps will not be able to use it or be too old or whatever after a couple of years, you know, so it's probably a 2-year thing. So I was sort of trying to figure out how I was going to do this. So what I did was I pulled these out and reversed them. So this is actually the other end from down the final post down there. I just turned the whole thing around, and then I've temporarily looped the wire rope around the post, which took up that extra distance up there, and that's fine. It's not as tight as I wanted to, but I didn't want to go and spend a fortune on. I suppose you could go and replace all this, but I don't want to shorten these because I want to be able to just reverse them and put them straight back in, and I can do that now. Very simple, sort of 10-minute job, and it's all back to standard. So that made the hole here. That's big enough for him to get under. This again is the same. I've got 4 of these boards. So I just put some heavy-duty steel brackets coming off the frame. Dog's only 20 odd kilos, so you know it's more. I can stand on this. It'll take it no problem. So, and then there's 4 of these decking boards just to go from the edge of the deck to just past the post here. This is an outdoor marine carpet which I got from the hardware store. Probably my biggest expense. No, it wasn't. The boards were these boards, 5.4 metre eco deck boards, were about $35 each, but that's comparative to pine or anything else really. So they're quite flexible though. But I guess pine would be it. It's only 23 millimeters thick. So is it more flexible than these? Yes, probably is, but just meant a few more supports, that was all. So yeah, I just built this up, made it up level with here, 4 boards across that, these 2 frames sitting on the steel brackets. I've even added solar lights, so as he comes out it'll turn a light on for him. And again, that's just another piece of leftover decking board. I just mounted up here, and that's sensor light, so as soon as he gets to about just a few feet or a metre from the thing, it turns on, and it shines all the way down. You can see where he's going. His eyesight's okay at the moment. So yeah, and then just made some railings up so that he can't walk over the side, and particularly feet sleeping through here. You've got to have the bottom rail. Doesn't matter here because he just comes straight around, so this is not an issue. He doesn't try and go that way, but definitely on the ramp edges you need something to stop his legs going off the side. So yeah, marine carpet, that was about, I bought 1 metre. This is 360 millimetres wide, so a bit over a foot, and then that leaves this internal here at about 310. Again, these are 20 millimetres, or what's that, 3/4 of an inch or so boards, and about a foot, a bit over a foot wide, 300 and something wide. I think the whole deck is, well, these are 88 millimetres, I think, these boards. So we've got 4 of those with a little bit of a gap there, so 330 mil, 340 mil wide. And then you lose 20 mil on each side, and that seems to be fine for him to walk on. It works good, and this marine carpet is, as I say, it just gives him, it's a non-slip surface, and it's good for rain because it'll just dry off. So, and that was important to have the boards that are mildew and rot resistant, because that carpet gets wet and it just sits on there. So I thought the eco deck's probably a good solution for that. Support for this, so we got the original support up there. I've got another steel bracket here. To accomplish that, there was nothing to mount that to, so I bolted very large timber screws going into the support beam underneath the deck. There's a fascia on the deck, but there's also this large beam here, so I just put large roofing screws, 2 of those into there, and that gave me quite a rope. That does not move at all. That's 35 by 70 pine millimeters, 35 by 70, so whatever that is, inch and a half, no, yeah, inch and a half by 3 inch pine, and sort of 2.5, 3 inch 65 millimeter roof screws, heavy duty steel bracket again, just a timber support. Down here I just, because I couldn't put this bracket on because of the footings, down here. I made a piece of this same timber, and I just cut it out so it stopped me from putting the bracket on there. So I just got a piece of timber the width that I needed it, notched it out around there, and again put two more of these sort of, you know, 90mm big heavy duty screws into the upright. So that's easy to remove, and it's also, I could adjust it if I wanted it to. That was the other benefit in that, I can adjust the height. For the last bit down here, I simply put some timber props under there, because again there's nothing to mount down there. So that's just a couple of pieces of 100 by, I don't know, 70. It was waste timber I found at the hardware store that they, from old pallets and stuff, they chuck out the back. So I just made a block up basically to prop that up. These are screwed up from below just to give this some rigidity. But as you can see here, I went a bit close to the edge on this piece of this eco deck, and it just chopped the whole side of it out, which it would do on pine, I guess, because it was just, because I was lying on my back underneath here doing it, and you really can't see vertical very well. That happened, but it doesn't matter. I'm not worried about it. It's a write-off anyway. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, all up cost was, well, it depends what you've got, doesn't it? So I had about 100 and, I suppose, $150 to build that, I guess. So I've got another solar light down here. It's an activity solar light, and that works good. So there's one each end if he comes this way, because these are only good for about, I don't know, not quite halfway up. The sensor only works for, you know, probably half the way, I discovered, so I thought I'll put one at each end. They're just little cheapy things you buy on eBay. Had to do a model on that one so the solar panel faces, it was facing the wrong way, so I had to pull the solar panel up, glue a piece of plastic in there, and put the solar panel facing the way the sun is, make sure it gets charged up. So there you go, that's the super duper deck for the dog, and it works a treat. It works really well, and we've just got to get him used to using it now because he still wants to go to the stairs. So there you go, another few ideas about a dog ramp. Never hurts, the more the merrier. Anyway, that works really well. That long angle is definitely the way to go for the dogs. The more slope you can put on it. Limited by practicality of how long the timber is, I suppose. I mean, I could have bought longer, well, I only would have got half a metre longer maybe. It would have gone to 6 metres. They're difficult to transport. It was difficult enough bringing these home at 5.5 metres, so, and that angle works good, so I think that's as good as it gets. I didn't really want it coming any further either. I don't want it coming here because this is a walkway and that would be hanging out past the end of the building, so I think where it is quite good. Alright, dog ramp, there you go. Okay, here's the big test. There's Benny going down the ramp, look at that. Come on. Go on. See, well, he's just going to stop now, isn't he? But there you go. So it's quite manageable for him, and he doesn't slip. It's very good. Loves it. Well, he doesn't love it, but he makes do. Good boy. So there you go, one dog ramp. Hope you like that, and I hope it helps somebody with some ideas about how to approach this problem, and yeah, give us a thumbs up if you like it, and yeah, as I say, hope it's, everybody's deck's different, the heights are different, so as I say, that's only 4 foot or something, so but yeah, I'd hate to have to make a ramp that had to go up, you know, 10 foot or, you know, 2 or 3 metres. God, I'd have to go all the way around the house. Oh look, here he goes, he's coming up again. He's got the hang of it. Had to make, now got to go and make a gate for the stairs, top and bottom, so he doesn't go down there, because that's what he wants to do. Alrighty, that's it. Thanks for watching.